I love it. Yeah, that leads me to my last question for you. You're doing a lot to prevent veteran suicide, through your Top Gun Foundation, and you went into the No Fallen Heroes. You're undertaking a lot, and I also came to find out that Gabler from which I just think is such a rad story.
The Soul Survivor.
From
Yeah.
the Soul Survivor. And by the way, I voted for him in my family.
Oh,
Like
good.
we watched it. That's one of the one like full series of Survivor that I watched, and I was rooting for him the whole time. And my family's like, "Why are you voting for him?" I'm like, "He's rad."
He's nicest guy. He's a good dude.
He is a good dude, man, and I liked him, watching him through the whole thing. You're like you guys are you're doing so much through your nonprofit. Talk to us a little bit about your goals. I know you're trying to prevent it. You got these 2 jet planes. And,
yeah, man.
John Myers, he was telling me about it, and I didn't know that you had jet planes. And I was like, "Oh my God!" And I was pointing my finger. He's like, "Zach, no way in hell you're getting up there before me." So I worked on jet planes for 12 years. I worked on the F-16, Block 30, Block 40, Block, I think 32 maybe. And I never got a backseat ride in one. And John's like, "Zach, you are not getting up in a plane before me." I'm not asking you for it tonight. Let me just be officially clear. I'm not asking you.
Got it.
But if you could set, what are your goals? Like, how many are you trying to do?
Yeah.
Like, can you talk a little bit about that for us?
Sure. As I alluded to earlier, my number one goal is to not have a foundation, period. The No Fallen Heroes Foundation should not exist. Some of my sister foundations, I just don't think we should be doing this, to be honest with you. Where is the United States government? The United States military does a fantastic job turning us into killers, and they do a pretty shitty job of transitioning us back to being a human being. They chew a lot of guys and gals up, and they spit them out, which is completely unacceptable. So that's mission objective number 1, is to go out of business, to have this foundation not exist, because Uncle Sam is doing this. But seeing how the VA works and how we treat veterans, I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon. So number 1, to go away, which isn't going to happen. Number 2 is to provide as many healing grants as possible. Bro, when I wake up in the morning, I have to meditate. I stopped doing this. What did I stop doing? I stopped looking at my emails and our intake forms, because it's pretty, I'm going to say depressing, but it isn't, because we're helping as many as we can. But if you go to nofallenheroes.com, contact us. That's where you can fill out an intake request or a sponsorship request form. And bro, I haven't read one of those that hasn't made me tear up or cry. Not one of those applications is somebody who's full of shit or just doesn't need the help. It's bad. It's a horror. So I wake up and I meditate now, because I'm like, shit, I got to look at my phone. So my mission objective is to give as many of these people healing grants as possible. We treat veterans and first responders too, because many vets, they hung up one uniform and they put on another one, whether it's at the local or state level or whatever. So, and they didn't cleanse the trauma from the military, and now they're a first responder. I had a buddy who's a 20-year Marine who got hired down at Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. He's like, dude, the time in Miami-Dade Fire Rescue made the Marine Corps look like the Girl Scouts. The horrors that I saw in fire rescue made everything seem. And then family members. My 99.9% of my wife's trauma is Whiz induced, right? So our spouses, our parents, our daughters, our brothers, sisters, they all serve too. We're actually providing a healing grant to a girl whose dad was an F4 guy, shot down in Vietnam, a Marine, rescued, a Delta Airlines captain who killed himself recently. And she's so those 3 groups we want to provide healing grants to. And we need donations. It's sad to say, but I suck at asking people for money. I am awesome at trade. Just ask me. I'm awesome at trading. I'm awesome at building businesses. My the last skill set that I have is asking people for money. But guess what? That's what a foundation needs to run. My wife and I have done our best over the years. The initial chunk of money came from my trading, knowing that Donald Trump was lying and the politicians were lying to us about COVID. But now it's tight. So if you can take your monthly Starbucks and go to nofallenheroes.com, you can do a monthly donation, $20, $25, $50, $5, man. Take one venti upside down caramel macchiato a month. All of that money goes to our grant recipients. I don't take a dime from I got a day job. I run a trading firm. But so the foundation it ain't the Clinton or the Biden Foundation, folks. The money actually goes out the door to our healing retreats, and you can see it. So the third mission objective is legalization for therapeutic use. By this time next year, we should have MDMA legal for therapeutic use. The most recent phase 3 trials from MAPS, the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Science, 71% of the people in that study that did the MDMA therapy who had non-treatable PTS. Again, political science major. When I hear the words non-treatable, what does that mean? They can't be treated. 71% with non-treatable PTS showed 0 symptoms and percentage of PTS after the treatment. Clinically healed. Now, healed's a subjective definition, but dude, SSRIs, the revolving door between the VA and big pharma and the veteran community, what's wrong with you? Here's a shitload of pills. 71%. I think, I forget how, it's like $230 billion PTS takes a toll on this country, let alone the suicide rate. So legalization is my third pillar, is advocating. Thank you, Colorado. Thank you, Oregon. Like I said, we just got back Monday night from our first retreat out in the great state of Colorado. Still illegal federally, but I jokingly tell people, I would have loved for the DEA or the FBI or whoever to raid. Could you imagine if they raided a healing retreat for veterans and first responders? That would have solved my fundraising problem. I would have had to raise another dime again. So legalization. I told you I did the medicine with Marcus Luttrell. His brother Morgan went and sat with the medicine as well. He got his ass kicked like we all did, and he is the biggest advocate on Capitol Hill. So I love my brother Morgan. I've met with him a couple times. Congressman Crenshaw hasn't done the medicine yet, and I'll leave it at that. And then Congressman Ryan Zinke, Commander Zinke, also a Navy SEAL. So we got the 3 Navy SEALs in Congress leading the charge. And here's what's funny. 4 or 5 months ago, I remember seeing a headline, Dan Crenshaw and AOC. And I didn't even want to read the rest of the headline because I'm like, well, did they kill each other? Did they get into a fist fight? Dan Crenshaw and AOC agree. I'm like, let me read more of this headline on the need for legal psychedelics for veterans. I was like, boom. So any issue where Dan Crenshaw or Matt Gaetz and the most liberal progressive Democrats can agree on something, let's get it done. And it's sad. And I'll end on this because when I talk to the VA or the heavies in the Pentagon, they look to their left and they look to their right and they're like, Whiz, good job, man. Keep it up. We agree with everything you're saying. I'm like, go tell the lawmakers. I meet with the lawmakers, and what do? They look to their left and look to their right. They're like, Whiz, we love what you're doing. I'm like, why aren't you people talking to each other? Why doesn't somebody, the president, vice president, secretary of defense, whoever, get up and go, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to heal our veterans. Hasn't happened yet. And finally, between us ladies, I got a couple congressmen who would pull me aside and go, Whiz, love what you're doing. Big Pharma is going to be your problem. That ain't my problem, congressman. That's your fucking problem. Okay? Marcus, Whiz, I was on 15 meds, man. Five to wake up, for lunch, 5 to go to bed. He hasn't taken a med since we got back from Mexico. So Big Pharma is shaking in their boots. Those SSRIs, those antidepressants that they shove down veterans' throats, max 12 to 15% effective with helping systems, compared with MDMA at 71%. So if you're big pharma right now, what are you doing? You're speaking with forked tongue, aren't you? You're getting in lawmakers' ears like, ooh, dangerous and ooga booga booga. No. Don't even get me started on the whole scandemic or plandemic stuff with the vaccines and everything. So big pharma ain't our friends, folks. One more time. God, source, truth, divine, the universe, pick your word, put these things on our planet for us to heal. And somebody made them illegal. And guys like me and girls on our team are going to make them legal again for therapeutic use.
Yeah. I don't even know how to end with that, because there's some serious truth to that.
It's sad, man. It's sad. It isn't sad. We're getting there, right? It's funny.
We're making progress, right?
Yeah, one more quick thing. I was out at Psychedelic Science in Denver a couple of months ago. 13,000 people. Governor Perry, Texas governor, who ran for president, on stage. Hell, man, 5 years ago, if I saw me on stage advocating psychedelics, I'd kick my own ass. And here I am. So we got Governor Aaron Rodgers. We got, athletes. We got politicians. We got veterans. We have, you name it, hippies. All at 13,000 people out at this convention. The energy was incredible. I remember walking around looking, I'm like, that little pack of dudes right there, that's either feds or pharma executives. And technically they're one and the same. So it's so interesting. So I do have buddies in the private equity space who are like, dude, big pharma is, because there are public, shameless plug, Top Gun Options, there are public psychedelic companies that you can buy. Big pharma is sitting there just with their checkbook going, why don't you guys beat the shit out of each other, do all the studies, burn through all your cash, and then we're going to swoop in and buy you. But here's the cool thing. God is a smart pharmacologist. You can't patent a root and you can't trademark a toad. So they might try and change a molecule or two and trade. Now it's trademarked and we own it. Yeah, you can own that one, but God put all this stuff out in the yard for us to use. So good luck with your trademark stuff. I'll stick with what God gave us.
Wow, that's some serious wisdom. Hey, Whiz.
Hey, wisdom. I got it. Yeah, that was a good one.
See what I did there?
I saw it. Well done.
Yeah. I want to know, what's the fastest you've ever gone in a plane?
Dude, that's a long story, but here's the quickest answer. 1,300 miles an hour, straight down at the Pacific Ocean. That's a separate podcast, dude. It's the day I almost. Did you almost die in combat sorties? Or nope. I almost killed myself in an F-18, and I'm going to leave you hanging. But 1,300 miles an hour straight down off the coast of San Diego.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor and pleasure to have Whiz Buckley here with us tonight. It's been an absolute treat. We've talked about leadership. We've talked about preventing veteran suicide. We've talked about what's next on the home front for legalizing psychedelic drugs, God's gift to this earth.
Amen.
And Whiz, you know what, man, I'm humbled to have you in my network. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for what you're doing. I know a lot of my buddies that are in the service are really excited they're jealous that they're not here sitting on my shoulder. I got one of my buddies. I was telling him that I was going to chat with you today, and he's like, dude, and I'm like, dude, grab a mic and come on over.
Yeah,
and he's
man.
like, oh man. So anyway, I just want to say thank you.
You bet, Zach. Thanks for having me, bro. Hey, you get down here to South Florida, especially during hockey season. My treat at a Panthers game, man. We got a suite. I'd love to have you.
Oh, that'd be rad. I'm gonna send you some of my special coffee. I got my Courage. I don't know if you can see it.
The Lion. I love it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you some Courage coffee from my coffee company. I'll send it down, and hopefully, so it's probably a little bit better than that foo drink that you got going on there.
Trust me, yeah, I'll take you up on that, man. I'll return the favor. So I'm gonna make a little bit of an announcement here on Veterans Day.
Yeah,
we are we're launching a supplement product. It's called Maverick Mind with Amanita mushrooms. We're doing a morning brief, an afternoon cat shot, and a night trap for sleep. So I will send you some Maverick Mind. Think coffee for veterans, but supplements for veterans. They're 100% legal. No psilocybin in them. We're not there yet. The day that is legal, we'll add that. But for now, it's funny because, you know, when Uncle Sam back in the days, like, oh wait, these mushrooms make you feel good and love people, they're illegal. They didn't illegal all the strains. So the one is, but let's just say there are scores of mushrooms that give similar microdosing benefits that are 100% legal. So Maverick Mind launching on Veterans Day. So you send the coffee, I'll send you the Maverick Mind stuff in exchange.
Yeah, man. Awesome. And maybe next time we can talk about me fulfilling my dream of getting in a jet.
If you come down and go flying, I recommend you eat a banana because it's going to taste the same coming up as it did going down.
I'm not going to puke.
Zach, do you know how many people say that? And do you know what the record is? Oh, I love that. See, now you just dared me. So now you're definitely. Now it's going to be extremely painful.
No, they're not me.
That's the right answer, my friend. I love that, Zach. I like that in the pilot. Little Top Gun reference there. That's pretty arrogant. That's pretty arrogant considering the company you're in. Yes, sir.
Well, you can't handle the truth, Whiz.
I love it, man. You fucked with the wrong Marine. Yes, sir.
You can't handle it. You know, one of my favorite things to do was out at the end of the runway is we were getting ready to after we pulled all the pins, and you know, I was the last guy that got I always love this because I always got the control of the pilot, right? And it was kind of like one of those things, like I'm going to make you sit for a minute just because I can.
Yeah.
Right, and I'd just sit there and I'd watch them, and like one of the guys, Gooch, if you're watching this, I'm sorry about this.
Yeah.
I'd sit there and I'd be like, I just look at him and then I'd salute him and I'd give him the right, and just give him the you can go.
Yeah.
But I would just always mess with him like an extra like 10 seconds, just because I could.
I love it, man.
It's kind of fun, right?
Yeah, man.
Because he can't go until I tell him.
True. You got that power, baby.
I don't know. It's just one of those little things between the ground crew and a pilot, right?
I love it, man. We got a bond. Say one team, one fight, man.
One team, one fight. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Leaders Lead with Matt Whiz Buckley. He's doing great things for great causes, for great people. So if you can, I'll put the information at the bottom. Check it out. See the links. Go give him a like, give him a follow, spread the word. Let's help him help others through his foundation. Let's lift him up. Let's do what we can. Share, like it, comment on it. All those things are going to help the algorithms on the LinkedIn collide all the networks to make this thing touch more people in the network, so we can make this thing a smashing success for him and for what he's doing with everyone else out there. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm Zach Husted with my special guest, Matt Whiz Buckley. Matt, sir, it's been an honor. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.